Good morning, everyone. So my name is Shannon Turner. I am the manager of the Coordination Benefits Department for UPMC Health Plan. And today I'm going to talk about why we started with COB Smart back in 2016, how our journey went, how we really got to the place we are today, how we were able to really get the most out of this file that we receive, which really is it's a gold mine of data that we receive every week, and really the benefits that we have gained from COB Smart and the value that it's brought to our organization. But first, I'll make you sit through like 2 slides of who we are and a couple awards that we won. So, okay, I already introduced myself. So UPMC, we are a $21 billion world-renowned healthcare provider and insurer based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are an integrated delivery health and finance system, which allows us to better align our incentives, reduce costs, deliver better health care, and improve the health of the communities we serve. We are made up of more than 140 hospitals. We have over 29,000 providers. We work with local providers as long as community. So this is, we won, so Stevie's, the back office customer service and innovation, we actually won 12 awards for the 16th annual in 2022. We've won for the past 5 years, and this is my enrollment and COB leadership team, and we're holding up a sign saying, proud to represent our amazing teams, Best Back Office Team of the Year for 2022, enrollment in COB 279 people strong. So UPMC currently has over 3.9 million members. We send 1.2 million members to CAQH. We do not send behavioral health, and we do not send CHIP. But other than that, we send all lines of business. We are also leading in innovation across the board, which allows us to deliver better quality, lower costs. And then we also provide plans to employers, single members, and those who are eligible for Medicare, Medicaid, and CHIP. So why COB Smart? So like I said, we started in 2016. At that time, we had around 30 employees. We were making outbound phone calls on every coordination benefit case we received. We were receiving daily files from the state, which some of you may know, it's not the best accurate data, and we're required to load it to our system. And then we also were utilizing another vendor for cost avoidance, but it's costly. It's $39 for every span that we get in from that vendor. So we looked at CAQH and we're like, this is a really great investment. This looks wonderful. Let's look at this. Our first file. So we received our first file on May 9th, 2016. It was almost 95,000 records. The volume surpassed our expectations. It was wonderful, but it was almost alarming just because we were trying to manage that first full file. If anybody in this room has kind of gone through that as a new payer, and we were actually reviewing every single span. And we were realizing as we were doing that, we were continuing to get a new file in every week. And that has ads, that has changes, term dates. So we're looking at this data and we're thinking like, okay, some of this may be incorrect, but really we're just getting term dates on a new file. We're like, we got to do a better process. So we're going to apply a smart QA. We took our top payers. We're going to look at that data first. We use a smart QA calculator that we've done with previous vendors, and we pulled a volume to start reviewing. When we were comfortable with the quality of the data, we're going to go ahead and automate it to our claims processing system. We continue to do that. The faster we could get the data reviewed, the faster we could get in our system, the more efficient our process became. So I'm going to go to the next. This is our present day. So we have what we call green carriers and white carriers. And some of you may have seen this presentation before. I know Kelly, my boss, has done it. But 85% of the file is green carriers. We do not do quality audit review on it. We automatically load it to our claims processing system. 15% is white. It does need additional review, so we do our internal validation that my team has set up. And we continue to do it until we're able to move that to green. I know we talked a little about a collaboration in some of the previous presentations, but getting carriers from white to green has really been collaboration with other payers through COB Smart, data corrections, reaching out to them and saying like, hey, we've seen this in your data, them coming back and just being able to fix it, or people even coming to UPMC and being like, hey, we noticed you're sending your data this way. That's wonderful, let me fix my data. So as you continue to have that collaboration across the board, you're both fixing your data, you're making it better, and it's gonna help us overall. So like I said, that collaboration with other payers really increased the data corrections and really helped. So 85% green, we just automatically load it. 15%, like I said, we continue to do that manual verification. And then anybody that does not participate with CAQH, we continue to do our own internal validation. I will also say, when I looked at our file layout, like when we first started with CAQH, I didn't realize how much of our coverage that we were sending is other or unknown until, I'm in my weekly CAQH meeting and I get my dashboard and I'm looking at my membership and I'm looking at my primacy determination and my overlaps and I'm like, what's this big chunk in other or unknown? So, and when you have that, that's less, primacy determination that you're getting back and you're losing out on all that gold mine. So we went through and we made sure that every line of business that we send had the correct value. So Medicaid, we're sending is 7, student policies, 12. I think that's right. But, that we're sending Medicare Advantage correctly because that was a huge opportunity. And I noticed my overlaps, my primacy determination started to increase. And that other and unknown was going down. And I was like, yes, every week. I was like, my goal was that's going to be 0 because that's cost savings. So that's huge. So speaking of, this is our COB medical savings. So this is a report that we pull where we take that allowed amount minus your net amount minus your member responsibility, and you get your overall savings that come from COB Smart identifying other insurance. So overall, this is the past 5 years. We've seen a steadily increase for our COB savings. We did have a slight drop in 2020. We just weren't getting the claims in, so we did see that. But we've had increase. We're on target to continue to increase in 2022. Also in 2022, we've had $21 million in COB savings just from COB Smart, identifying other insurance prime to UPMC. So it's great because in 2022, we were able to break down our reporting by vendors. So we were actually able to identify, okay, these are the files we get from CAQH. We're automating them. Here's the savings associated. So seeing that picture is huge. Okay, so of course this is the retrospective recovery. So this is our COB overpayment report. So when we pay prime, but then we identify that there is other insurance prime to UPMC. So far, now this goes through July, but we were able to recover $732,000 from COB Smart, where they were able to identify primary payer data. But I will say 96% of claims are paid out correctly because of organizations like COB Smart that is able to provide this data to us weekly and timely. And it's less retrospective claim recovery that we have to do, and this does provide tremendous value to our organization. So pharmacy. I think 2018 is where we really started to dig into pharmacy because we're sick of paying that expensive vendor all that money for pharmacy. And then I forget who it was, but they're like, hey, you're not sending pharmacy. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, let me get our pharmacy going. So we really dig into pharmacy. Anything that has that 88 value on that file under all those COB indicators, so your O1, where there is some type of coverage overlap, Of course, your O4, which is our gold mine, primacy determination, there is COB. We're always looking for that 88 value, and we're loading that pharmacy. And we don't always get the prescription benefit manager, but we will do a pharmacy to medical comparison. And some payers, it's easy to identify who their PBM is. So for UPMC, we primarily use Express Scripts. We have very small carve-outs. So if we didn't send the PBM, but we're sending pharmacy, you would be able to load it with Express Scripts. If we are able to determine your PBM, or you only typically use one, we go ahead and load it. If not, we load it under the medical, as long as you're sending that pharmacy carve-out. So overall, our savings is $25 million. That's not just CAQH, because we're not able to break it down at that level yet, but we love pharmacy. We want to encourage everybody to make sure you're sending it. If you're not, make sure you're sending that, because the more that we can load, it's wonderful, and it'll be savings for all of us. So this one's huge too. I keep referring to another vendor that provides us cost avoidance data, but this is a beautiful chart, because the more that we use CAQH, the less that we're using these more costly vendors. And what we really started to do is, so we would send a weekly eligibility file to the other vendors that we have. We've started to pause the eligibility files that we send to the more expensive vendor, and we process more CAQH files. Now that we're getting more people participating with CAQH, and that equals more, it's less cost to the other vendor. So that's where we're starting to see that nice drop in that invoice cost that we have to pay to those other vendors. So we've seen a 70% reduction in vendor spend since implementing COB Smart in 2016. So again, advice I would give, if you're using more than one vendor for COB information, and you do want to think about, okay, maybe pausing your eligibility and utilizing more CAQH files, like I said, that's a great tool that we've adopted. So some more best practice recommendations. COB Smart, I love the collaboration in the portal. I love, being able to go directly to another payer if we identify opportunity in their data. I have people always emailing me directly. I think it's wonderful collaboration. Being able to delete your own coverage. Not long ago, we realized we had wellness coverage incorrectly listed in the portal, and we were able to delete it very quickly and resolve any, data being sent that wasn't clean. So I love that ability. And our team we give our whole team access to send inquiries when they see that there's something in the data that needs fixed. So I love that ability. And I also love the aged email, because that helps keep us accountable. We're like, oh my gosh, we got to work these inquiries. So a couple things that we do with the COB Smart weekly file. So the O3, the COB indicator, so primacy undetermined, this is a great bucket too. A lot of times if there's two insurances that are prime, you can't always make that determination. So we really start digging into that, because we don't want to lose the O3, because there's a lot of value. So if we're Medicaid and we're that, and the other insurance primary, we dig into those ones, because we can pull them out and automate those. So far we've been able to automate around almost 16,000 primary other insurance spans from the O3 primacy not determined bucket. So don't miss out on that one if you're not currently looking at it. There's a lot of good data in that one too. This one isn't cost savings, but I think it's still important. We do utilize secondary spans, just because we will get inquiries from members about secondary spans, and our team will have to review and build those. So we're like, why not just utilize the secondary spans? That, it's less work that our team has to do. And the last one is, we created a compare process to our claims processing system to utilize the 3 delete indicators being sent from the portal. So on your file, when you have like the add, the change, and the delete, so you'll get a span, and then maybe that coverage isn't active anymore. So it's not in the portal, but you need to remove it from your claims processing system, or it'll cause further issues. So we have a process where we pull out those 3 deletes, We compare it to our claims process system so we know exactly which medical span to term, and then we reconcile those each week. So we're taking care of those, and like I said, it helps our data continue to be clean. And that's it. So I hope you guys found this helpful. We get a lot of value from COB Smart. We love that, more people are participating. The pharmacy's been huge. If you guys have any questions for me, like I love the collaboration, so I'll be around. I would love to hear from you. But if not, thank you, and thank you CAQH for letting me speak too. I appreciate it.